Which brings me to my next subject, because that's Vice President Harris, the presumptive nominee for the Democratic Party. As news spread of Joe Biden's decision not to seek re-election, high-profile Democrats were quick to endorse Harris as their favorite candidate to replace him. Some of those names include Bill and Hillary Clinton, California Governor Gavin Newsom, Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, Georgia Senator Raphael Warnock, Illinois Senator Dick Durbin, and AOC herself, a.k.a. New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who was once critical of both Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. The latest addition to the list is Nancy Pelosi, who'd been notably silent in the immediate aftermath of the news. The new energy behind the presumptive Democratic nominee has been tangible the last 24 hours as the party has raised over $50 million, according to numerous reports. Many feel the former senator and prosecutor is the perfect candidate to take on Donald Trump and the Republicans. Let me stop you right there. That ain't true.
No, it's not true. You know whose name is missing from that list? Barack Obama. Welcome back, Warriors. It's me, Linda B. Thank you all so much for joining me here today. Today, I have Stephen A. Smith. Yes, he is talking about Kamala Harris. Can she win up against Donald Trump? Some may think she can, and some probably don't think that she can. But before we get back into the video, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, watch the video to the end. Now, let's get into it.
She's not the perfect candidate to go up against Donald Trump. Whether it's true or not true, I'm only talking perception, because I got my man Roland Martin coming on later, who knows a hell of a lot more about politics than I do, that'll educate all of us about what's true and not true about her record. But the perception is, when she was attorney general, when she was a district attorney in San Francisco, attorney general in the state of California, there were black men incarcerated for nonviolent offenses. Sentences were stretched, et cetera, et cetera. This is what they will be said about her. Obviously, even though she was never the czar, the border czar, that's how the Republican side, the conservative side, is going to paint her when it comes to the issue of 10.5 million illegal immigrants crossing our borders since Biden took office in 2021. This is what they're going to say.
And they should say it. Because let me tell you something about Democrats. Most black people, of course, as we all know, vote Democrat. And some say vote blue no matter who. Okay, the Democrats have a history of locking up black people. Okay? But yet we still vote for them. The Clintons did it. Okay, the 94 crime bill. But guess who wrote those bills? Jim Crow Joe Biden, a Democrat. And Kamala Harris herself has a history of locking up Black and Latino people for nonviolent crimes and stretching their sentences, going beyond. And according to Tulsi Gabbard, during the presidential debate a few years ago, she said that Kamala Harris did the cash bail system and used those black people that she had locked up, whose sentences she had stretched, for cheap labor. Sounds like slavery to me. Democrats, the Democrat plantation, that's right, lock you up, won't let you get out even after your sentence is up. The demon rats. And yet, black people, we just keep voting for them over and over again. It's like being in an abusive relationship. Punch you in the eye, you keep coming back and get punched in the other eye. What the hell?
And so when we understand that, and that's the reality, she is not the quote-unquote perfect candidate. But you know what she is at this moment in time? The best the Democratic Party's got. She's certainly better than Joe Biden.
That's pitiful.
I don't believe she'd be better than Michelle Obama, but that ain't an option. And so that makes her the best we've got.
Really?
And when you consider her prosecutor's background, when you consider her intellect, when you consider how feisty she can be, when you consider how she could pick Donald Trump apart in terms of the lies that he may tell.
She can't pick nobody.
and she's younger by over 21, 22 years to Joe Biden. And she's been aching for this opportunity. And she's considered an individual that's been muzzled. I'd say that makes her a pretty damn good candidate. And here's the thing that I won't hold against Kamala Harris. Her performance when she was running for the presidency in 2020 and she couldn't even make it to 2 months. She had to suspend her campaign because she wasn't gaining any traction. I'm not holding that against her, but it's not just because it was 4 years ago. You know why I'm also not doing that? I'm not doing that because it's one thing to go against your contemporaries within the same party trying to prove you're the more viable candidate than the rest of your teammates. It's another thing entirely to go against the enemy. And the enemy in her eyes would be Donald Trump. So her going up against Joe Biden and others is nothing compared to her going up against Donald Trump. That means you're going to have the left on your side because they certainly ain't going to vote for Donald Trump. It's about getting people to the polls, and it's about getting independents, particularly women, to side with you. Roe v. Wade and how Donald Trump bragged about playing a role in that being overturned. That's something that's right in her wheelhouse.
I hope she brings up more than just the fact that you want to unalive babies, because that's what liberal, and I put emphasis on the word liberal, women, young women want. That's their focus. It's abortion. It's wanting the ability to do what they want with their bodies, the freedom to do what they want with their bodies, not thinking about the child's body that's forming inside of them. It's my reproductive rights, they say. What about the baby's right to live, to breathe, to grow up and be a success, to have a family of their own? You're stripping that all away. And you're taking, when you take that person's life, you are taking away not just their life, but the descendants that they would have had. They could have had children who also had children who also had children. That's what we're doing in the Black community. Oh, we love voting for the demon rats that lock us up and put Planned Parenthood in our neighborhoods, just encouraging us to unalive ourselves. What are we thinking? And that's all they got? That's in her wheelhouse? I locked you up and I want you to kill yourselves. Yes, that's what she's about. She wants to she locked us up. That's her history. That's a fact. That is a fact. And Donald Trump can compound on the fact that he did the opposite of what Jim Crow Joe and Kamala Harris did. He did criminal justice reform, which reduced sentencing and let some people free, which is the opposite of what she did. He could capitalize on that. See, the Democrats get us to vote for them, and we don't get anything in return. Okay? We get the short end of the stick. The short end of the stick in every which way imaginable.
Those 2 impeachments, those civil suits, the 34 felony counts, that's in her wheelhouse.
All bogus.
Being able to deduce when he's telling the truth and when he's lying.
She'll be lying.
And picking them apart on the spot. She has that capability. Will she do it?
Nope.
I know she'll need to. So again, that's going to make her the best candidate for the job at this particular moment in time.
Not for long.
It ain't about who she's going against amongst the Democrats. No, if she's the Democratic nominee, she only got one opponent. And that's Donald Trump.
Well, seems like Stephen A. has had a change of heart because he really was giving Jim Crow Joe the blues.
So you can pick and choose. What it came down to for me is this. I see homeless folks in the streets of New York all the time that are American citizens. I damn sure see them in California. We've got poor, impoverished, starving people who were born and raised in this nation. How in the hell do we come up with a $53 million pilot program for illegals, but folks who are here legally are born here, we don't have enough of them? Just like we could come up with billions for Ukraine. But somehow, some way, we can't fix the homeland problem. I'm down for helping Israel. I'm down for helping address the situations with the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, okay? I'm down for helping the Ukrainians and fighting off Russia. What about poor and desolate citizens here? How the hell do you print money for foreign countries, but you don't print that money to help eradicate folks that are starving right here in the streets of America who were born and raised here?
But yet, you want to be okay with Kamala Harris, who had a part, and I don't even think she went to the border. She went along with those disastrous policies with letting all those illegals flood into the country and take jobs from Black and Latino people. That's Democrat for you. And yet I got all these Facebook friends of mine who I've known for decades going, I'm with her, Kamala Harris. There's a picture of her, with the Statue of Liberty. Oh, she's looking beautiful in that picture, isn't she? But they don't want to talk about her history because, see, the media, all they could do is demonize Donald Trump and make him look worse than her. They got to make him look worse because her actual legislation was worse. What they've done, her and Jim Crow Joe, over the past almost 4 years is worse than what Donald Trump did. Because his presidency side by side next to Joe Biden, it's a slam dunk in the favor of Donald Trump. I mean, Stephen A., what are you talking about? You don't know what you're talking about. She can't even pick meat off of a drumstick. She can't. We'll be unburdened of what has been. What? And she's supposed to go up against Donald Trump talking like that? And she hasn't done anything? Okay. And you know what I hear that she did to move up the ladder, the chain of command. She did a lot of things, And I don't want to hold people's past against them. But she still didn't do anything in her recent history with the Biden administration. She didn't do anything. Cackle, can't answer questions, look ridiculous, act silly. You don't even know what she's talking about. She says these little things that make no sense. Well, anyway, you guys, I don't want to go on a rant, and let me just say this. This is what I got to say. This is extremely important, extremely important. I said earlier that Barack Obama did not endorse Kamala Harris. There's a reason for that. He did not endorse her because he wants, according to, and this is if this is true. Okay, I'm not saying this is the gospel, but what I'm getting is that Barack Obama wants an open convention. And they want Michelle Obama. Barack Obama wants Michelle Obama. And the delegates can just rally around as long, and I think if this is correct, that Kamala Harris has to agree to it. And Michelle Obama, if the delegates all agree, then, she gets those delegates. Michelle could get those delegates. Yes, it can be an open convention. And I believe that is what they have. Stephen A. said Michelle Obama is the only one that would be better, but that's not on the table. Oh, it's on the table. In Barack Obama's mind, it is. Oh, it is very much on the table. And I don't think anybody's going to question whether or not she's Black, but Michelle Obama still won't win. All that dirt's going to come out. All those skeletons going to come roaring out of her closet. Yeah. She got more skeletons than a cemetery. The Obamas both. The media just hid it. But all this stuff will be exposed. And some of us want it to be. Because if you want to show all of Donald Trump's dirt, show theirs. Show theirs. That's what I say. You guys tell me what you say. Do you believe there's going to be an open convention? Do you believe Michelle Obama is actually going to be the one that they rally behind? I believe that. This is what I believe. Because Kamala Harris is not it. She is not the perfect candidate. Nowhere near. She didn't do well as a vice president. How the heck is she going to be running for the presidency? Well, we shall see how this goes. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell if you haven't already. I made my 40,000 subscriber goal. Thank you so much for your support. You all be blessed. Love God, your families, these United States of America. And as I always say, march on, warriors.